Welcome back to Drink Read Fabio.
You always go first.
Okay, I'm Sophia and Kaiafas.
And I'm Kate Brimmer.
And we're your host of this podcast.
Yes.
Today we're going to do an OG episode where I'm going to share a book and one of the drinks that I created. And Kate is going to share one of her cringy romance books.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, so today the book that I chose was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. If you guys went and saw our mid-year freakout tag, one of our favorite authors of the year is Emily Henry. We love Emily Henry. We've already done her other two books as drinks for this podcast. So now we finally have the third book.
Yes.
And this is a super cute book, basically about two friends. These are two friends that have been college besties, and then they kind of had a falling out. And one of them has the idea to rekindle this friendship possibly by going on one last summer vacation, because they went on summer vacations every summer. Mm-hmm. And you'll have to see, do they become friends again? Do they become more than friends? I don't know, but it's really, really cute. The banter is top notch, as all of Emily Henry books are. Oh, yeah. It's hilarious, and Alex has my heart.
Yes,
truly.
He's so sweet.
It's so cute.
Aww.
So today I wanted to pick something. I think they drink margaritas a few times in the book.
I believe it.
And I wanted to pick something orange, so we did a tequila sunrise frozen margarita today.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
That's so fancy.
So this is how to make two servings, okay?
Great.
We have 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of triple sec, 2 ounces of grenadine, and then top it off with orange juice, and then just fill the rest of the blender up with ice. So you can get it to the frozen texture that you want. And that's it. Yeah, so let's try it.
Let's do it.
Oh, cheers. Whoops, I didn't take a sip.
Yum.
Yum. You like
Good.
it?
Yeah, I really do. And I usually don't like orange juice. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it has a little mixture in there.
Mm-hmm. So thanks for creating this super yummy margarita soap. It's yum.
Of course, girl. I'm excited to hear about your book.
Yes, perfect drink form. What we're gonna talk about. She's a crazy one.
Oh my goodness.
This is another TikTok book that I see everywhere when I watch like the spicy ones.
Okay.
So you might have heard of it. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's all over the place.
Yes, I have heard of this one. I heard it's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy. I was going, just trying to look for ones that people are like, it's wild, crazy, and this one comes up every single time.
Yeah, this was on my TBR.
It is?
From a long time ago.
Okay, well, it's
okay. No worries. We have so many.
So many books. So, I cannot wait to tell you about it. Misha and Ryan grew up going to different school districts. And Misha is a boy and Ryan is a girl.
Okay.
Their elementary school teachers paired their classes up with pen pals, and they did it by gender, but because the teachers didn't know the other kids, one teacher thought that Ryan was a boy and the other teacher thought Misha was a girl. So they got paired up. They're a boy-girl couple. And they just never stopped pen pal writing to each other as they grew up. They started in 5th grade, and then every year just kept going, but they promised never to meet in person. So even though you're only 30-minute drive away from me, we're not going to meet in person. Let's just keep it here because we don't want to ruin this magic. Mm-hmm. That is, until Misha's band throws a party to raise money for their band's tour, and he sees the most beautiful girl across the way, whose friend calls her Ryan. And he's like, what other girl is going to be named Ryan?
I don't know.
This girl also does not match the book nerd outcast that he knows as his Ryan.
Okay.
She always talks about herself as not fitting in and being kind of a weirdo, things like that. And he's like, she's like super popular and super beautiful, and what is this?
Okay, girl.
But that night, Misha's sister passes away from a drug overdose.
Ooh.
She has a heart attack. I
Oh
know.
no.
And so Misha, for some reason you don't know yet, wants answers he can only get from the school that Ryan goes to, the other school district.
Okay.
So 3 months go by. Now, there's like a 3-month break. Ryan hasn't received a letter from Misha in these 3 months, and it's driving her crazy. She feels like her only true friend has abandoned her. I know.
Her only friend that she's never met.
Exactly. And she even says that. She's like, it's so sad. She is the queen bee of the school, kind of a putting other people down to make herself go up kind of person. Like, she's a bully.
That's
she's
how
like,
Ryan is?
Oh. She's like stereotypical, popular, mean cheerleader kind of person. She has 2 friends that are like her, like kind of packer. They're mean to everyone, including each other, named Lila and Ten. Ten is more, and Ten's a boy.
Okay.
He's more of a good friend, but she doesn't know if like she wanted to leave if he'd follow her. She's like, I don't know if he'd want to stick to being popular. Lila and her stab each other in the back all the time whenever they can find them, when they're like kind of fighting for the top queen bee position.
Sure.
The most popular guy and stepson to the principal's name is Trey. And he has his sights on Ryan. And she is scared to turn him down because he's ruined the lives of other girls who have turned him down in the past. He'll like come up with crazy rumors about how they like let him like gang bang her, you know, he'll like terrible things.
Oh, good.
And so she's like trying to play it right with him, like not letting him have it, but like also not saying no.
Yeah.
So as a friend group, so her, Lila, Ten, and then Trey, his friend, best friend Jared, who's dating Lila, and then a couple other boys, all go hang out at an abandoned carnival ground. That's like kind of where like the cool people go and hang out.
Okay.
And they find that in the tunnels, like where they used for like the workers, somebody is living down there, and they're like, what?
Whoa.
And they're kind of like freaked out about it, but they Ryan sees that somebody wrote a really pretty poem in a notebook, so she grabs the poem out, she like rips the page out, she's like, I want to keep this. And Ten sees like a beautiful locket, and he takes it. So they take things from the room and then they run away. Someone also, this is all kind of like backstory stuff, someone under the pen name Punk is writing poems or funny notes or like cryptic messages almost every single night in the school, like vandalizing the school walls, and people would go, like students would in the morning go and see these messages every morning, and they're like, who is Punk? La 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 la. And the teachers are like, we gotta find this person because they're vandalizing, you know.
Yeah.
A new boy is sitting in Ryan's art class, but Trey skipped his class to be in class with her, so he had science, and he skipped it to come be in art class with her.
Oh, sure.
And to get him off of her back, she bullies the shy kid in front of her, so that they start picking on him instead of her. And the new boy, his name's Mason, notices and sticks up for him, but not before making fun of Ryan and putting her down in her place, which no one has ever done to her in high school yet. Trey asks her to prom, and she says yes because she doesn't feel like she has any other choice. Even though he says like super disgusting shit about it, like one is like a jerk about it. He's like, so do you have a dress? Like, and do you think you could like get your makeup done? Like, what are you doing May 7th? And she's like, haha. And he goes, yeah, I know this great taco place. And like, you know, saying like just jerky shit.
Yeah.
And saying like, and you're gonna be mine after the dance too.
Yeah, not being a gentleman.
No, being just disgusting. So the popular people are pissed off at Mason because he like isn't acting in his place, and he's like, you know, sticking up for people. Yeah. So they dare Ryan to go over there and mess with him, and so she goes and like tries to like flirt with him, and he grabs her and pulls her, makes her straddle him, and like whispers like something, I forget what he says, like something kind of rude in her ear, and then pushes her off onto the floor and embarrasses her in front of everyone.
Evil.
I know. And just so you know, dun dun dun, we find out that Mason is Misha, who already basically graduated high school and needs something.
Yes. This is really my mind.
Yes. Mason is really Misha. He's going to the school under a false name because he doesn't want Ryan to know who he is. He doesn't want anybody to know who he really is.
Yeah.
Because he needs to find something from the principal in the school. So he got a tech guy to break into the system and create a fake name for him so that he could start going to the school to get the information he needs. And he is disgusted by who Ryan really is.
Yeah.
And he feels super lied to. Yeah. So Ryan goes home from school to find Mason had broken into her room and is standing in her room. And he basically is like, you stole something from me. I know you did. He holds up her diary and is like, if you don't give me what I want back, I'm going to post your diary all over Facebook. Because at that point,
all over Facebook.
Facebook was the main social media.
Yeah, sure.
So she's like, I have this poem. If it's yours, take it. He's like, yes. And he's like, and where's my locket? She's like, I don't have it. My friend does. But I will give it to you. I'm teaching swim lessons after school. Just meet me in the parking lot and you can give it to me.
Does she know he's Misha at this
No,
point?
she doesn't know.
Okay.
No, she doesn't know at all. The readers know. The readers know it's Misha. So when Mason goes to get the locket from her, he sees, so he walks through the school.
Okay.
And to get to the pool, you have to walk through the locker room. And he sees that Lila and Trey are having sex in the shower.
And Trey was the guy that wanted.
Trey's the guy that wants her, and Lila is dating Trey's best friend, Jared.
Oh no, this is a mess.
Even though Lila is dating his best friend.
Oh, good.
So he gets his locket back, and there's some like weird sexual tension between them, but they also are like, I hate you. You know?
Yeah.
Trey obviously doesn't like Mason, and he doesn't like that he made fun of him, so he vandalizes his car with a bunch of paint. Mason gets pissed and they get into a fist fight outside of the school.
Where are these people's parents? That's what I always wonder.
Well, the principal is Trey's stepmom.
So how are they doing this?
He gets away with everything. It's so annoying.
God.
But yeah, they get into a fist fight, and when the principal comes, Ryan takes the fault for it. She's like, it was me. I did it. Trey's just sticking up for me. And the principal is just like, just go get it washed. Just go get the car washed, and then you're fine.
Just go get washed.
So Ryan and Mason go to the car wash and are still talking like they hate each other. Mason refuses to help her clean the car because it's one of those self-service ones, and he's like, go for it, go clean the car, I'm gonna sit here while you clean the outside. And obviously this makes like Ryan get all like wet and like sexy because she's like cleaning it while he's like sitting inside.
Oh my goodness. Inside? He's inside?
He's inside the car, and she's cleaning the outside of the car.
Oh my gosh.
And you know, the whole time they're like throwing insults at each other that are like getting more and more heated and like kind of sexual. And eventually he pulls her into the back seat with him. He like taunts her. He's like, I dare you to do something. Like, I know you want me. Like, you want this trash. Like, am I trash to you? Like, do you want me to be like your dirty little secret? And he has like a lip ring, and so like she sticks her tongue out and starts like playing with his lip ring with like, and just like kind of like going around his lips before they get interrupted.
Oh my god, this was too much.
I know. So after,
not a lip ring.
I know. She like after she doesn't see Mason in class for 3 days. Like he just skips class because he doesn't really have to be there.
Sure.
Because he's not himself.
Yeah.
Mason breaks into the school to shower at night because obviously he's living in this like weird carnival place.
Yeah.
It's because he's a bad relationship with his dad after his sister died. Yada yada. It's a backstory we don't really need to talk about. But now they've increased the security in the school because of all the vandalism. So they have security guards in there at night, and he forgot about that. Okay. So he gets caught by the security guards, and so he starts running, like just like running because he doesn't want to get in trouble. Yeah. And who else does he see in the school who's there at night? Ryan, who's also running away covered in blue paint because she's punk. I know.
Oh
so they're running together, and he's like, I can't believe it's you. And she's like, please don't tell anyone. And they run and they go and hide in the library.
Oh, of course.
And then when he hears someone come in, he pulls her on top of him, like behind, you know, some stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, no.
as payment to keep his silence, because she's like laying on top of him, like he's here. She's not facing him, she's facing away, like sitting on his lap, but down. So
like
her,
this.
yes. So like, you know.
And then he's underneath.
Yeah. So like he starts like touching like her on her body, and like she's like obviously reacting to it. So he like slips his hand into her pants and starts touching her while she's on top of him.
And they're hiding from the security.
Yes, and he's like,
shh.
He's like, don't let anybody hear it. And well, he's like, this is payment for me keeping your secret. I know. He's like, pull up your shirt. He's like,
did she want it?
she did want it.
Okay.
Yeah, she wanted it.
That's good.
100%. No, she was like giving all the signs. But he says stuff like, you know, do you really want to keep my silence? Like, do you want me to tell anyone that it's you? And like things like that.
He just like floss behind a couch.
Okay.
Did you hear me? There was
Oh,
just like floss right
Oh,
here.
weird. This is something that I want you to read later, so I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
But it got crazy. After she finishes, she just runs out of there, leaving him behind. She's like, all right, thank you, bye.
Thanks, bye. Yeah.
She even says, she like goes back to her sassy, like mean self. She's like, if you're expecting a blowjob, it's not happening.
It's like a guy.
Yeah. And he's like, don't worry, I know where I can get it. He's like, I don't need you for that.
Boop.
And then the next day she hears that Mason fucked this cheerleader named Caitlin. Caitlin basically comes up and she's like, yeah, me and Mason, like, he's dirty, la la la. So I know Caitlin.
Caitlin girl.
So in this town, people all go to the movie, like the drive-in movies together, and that's like where they hang out, at the
Okay.
drive-in. So of course she goes, and she sees Mason there, and she's at the concession stand, who acts like nothing is different. Basically, it's just like, hey girl, they're like doing their banter. She is pissed that he left her and then went and fucked some other girl. And so she sneaks into his car and is about to carve shit into his seat, like letters and stuff, with his pocket knife.
Oh my gosh,
He
girl.
catches her and
She needs a little
basically
help.
says that like Caitlin was the best bang he ever had, and he's like, are you still thinking of me? Do you think of me all the time? Because I never think of you. You mean nothing to me. And
Oh
she
my
like,
gosh. And they're in high school? Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
And then she starts crying because she's like, that was harsh. And he's like, no, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was lying. I just wanted you to feel jealous because you're with Trey. All this stuff.
Okay, but
And then
still.
they have super hot car sex. They have super hot car sex. They have super hot car sex. Sex. Everyone. And also, so he's like, my windows are tinted. It doesn't matter. But like, at this drive-in, they get out and like the kids like get out of their cars and talk to each other. They're not watching the movie. It's like a hangout. So there's her friends like just around the car like talking, and she can see them while they're having sex in his car. And he's like, don't worry, it's totally blacked out. They can't see. And then at one point, Trey is right by the window, and Mason is like, oh, he's like, hey Trey, thank you so much for letting me use your girl. Like while he's fucking her, like says it to her. He's like, oh Trey, your girl tastes amazing.
Oh
like,
my.
like that.
That's too much.
I know. I was like, oh my god. It's like, this is a lot. So after they have sex, she's like, we have to go. Like, I cannot leave this car. Like, we need to go. I can't like face everybody. So they drive away, and she finally tells him about Misha, not knowing that he is Misha. Just like says like, you know, I have this friend that like stopped talking to me. It's really hard on me, and that's why I'm punk, because she can't talk to Misha anymore. So she's just been like putting all of her thoughts on the walls.
Sure, because that's what everyone
People
does.
do. Yeah, don't need a diary. No,
Yeah, don't need a diary. I'm just gonna vandalize school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mason's like, oh, I miss her. It's like the middle of the night. He's like, I just need to see her. So he sneaks into her room in the middle of the night, and
What's with him sneaking everywhere?
he like can pick locks. He's like a champion lock picker. I don't know.
Okay.
And he walks into her using her vibrator on herself. And so
Of course. Of
he
course.
asks her to use it on herself while he watches. and then fucks her.
Oh my
While
god.
her family is like getting ready for school. It's like 5 a.m. I know. So
High schoolers.
High schoolers. Mason asks Ryan if she wants to do something illegal with him, and she says yes. They sneak into Trey's house because he has a watch that belongs to Mason. They don't find the watch, but instead find tons of Polaroid pictures of girls that Trey has fucked or has slept with. So he is sneakily taking pictures while he's fucking every single girl he's ever slept with.
How? He's just like,
Maybe
hold
some
on.
of them are, maybe some of them are consensual,
Consensual,
but
yeah.
he has like a stack of them.
Ew, that's disgusting.
And so Ryan takes them and spreads them all over his parents' bed.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's so bad. Oh my god.
I know.
I would die.
I would die too. So after they do that, they go to sleep. He's not in school for a couple days, and one night she is trying to remember the band that she saw, and looks it up and figures out that Misha is Mason on her own.
Oh, good.
So she is freaking out. She's pissed. Like, she's so mad at this point. She's like, we've had sex like 3 times now. Like, you're my friend almost.
Yeah, you know like so much about me and you didn't tell me.
She was like, you should have said something at the car wash. She was like, why did he wait so long? So she breaks into his carnival home and takes her letters back. Like, because he had been saving all of her letters in a box.
Aww.
And she took them back. So she goes to a party then and gets shit-faced. And I'm going to call him Misha now because now she knows.
Yeah.
So Misha sees a video on Facebook of her trashed and goes to get her, only to be ambushed by Trey, and they start fighting again.
Trey.
And when they're fighting, he sees the watch that is his on Trey's wrist, so he gets his pocket knife and cuts it off of him.
Oh my god.
Under the leather.
These kids are not playing.
No.
They're
not playing.
Not normal kids.
And the police get called on the party, and they only arrest Misha because the Trey, who owns the house, is like, he stole something of mine.
Of course.
Yeah, dumb. So Misha's cousin bails him out of jail, and we learned that Misha's family is extremely rich and well known in the community.
Okay.
And so him and Ryan make up. She's like, oh, it's fine.
It's fine.
The next day, everyone is isolating Ryan after Misha came in and like fought them, and after so they're basically like everything combined. They're like, you're not popular anymore because you chose Misha over Trey.
Yeah. So we aren't.
So you're isolated, and they bully her so bad and tell her that she's a slut, and they throw an orange juice at her, like in her face. Like they take her orange juice off of her tray and dunk it on her.
That's mean.
It's very mean. They're really vicious at this high school.
These are not normal kids.
No.
This is kind of giving me Boys at Brayshaw High.
Mhm.
It's like the same level of like, but
It's
a little
very-
bit more like.
Even crazier than Boys
I think it's a little edgier, yeah.
So Misha whisks her away after he sees it happen, and he takes her to his house because his dad's not home at the time. And he cleans her up, gets her in the shower, makes her food, and then he's like, have you ever had anal before? And she's like, no. And he's like, then we're both virgins in that way. Do you want to take each other's virginity? And they have anal.
Just straight up, no preparation.
Well, I mean, they do stuff before.
Yeah, but not
no.
for the booty hole.
No, he just sticks it in. Very slowly, but he does.
These people are crazy.
Yes. So the next day, Misha gets into a fight with Trey at school. And of course, even though both of them are throwing punches, the principal, because Trey's is her little angel baby, is like, Misha, you have to go. So Trey then tries to rape Ryan in the hallway.
Misha does?
No, Trey.
Oh. Trey.
Trey.
What?
Yes, he tries to rape Ryan in the hall, and she gets away. She then sees Trey
In the hall?
in the hall. Like he pulls her into like a stairwell, and like gets on.
Where are these
He's like, I
teachers?
get what I want no matter what. Like, you're going to give it to me. Like,
Oh my
I never get turned down. Like, you're a little, like, slut. Like, I know you gave it to him. Now he was just your warm-up. Now you're gonna give it to me.
Ew. I hate him.
He's like, I always get what I want. No, he's trash.
Trash Trey.
Yes.
Trashy Trey.
Trashy Trey. So, she sees Trey then throw away a necklace that belongs to the shy kid. Remember the one earlier? And his name is Manny, and he usually wears it. And then she hears crying in the boys' bathroom. So she walks into the boys' bathroom, and she's like, Manny, are you okay? And his gauges were ripped out of his ear, and he was bleeding all down his neck. And he had like a black eye. And she goes in there and like, is like, did Trey do this to you? And he was like, yeah. And she like helps him clean up. And
Trey is evil.
He's terrible. He's literally the worst.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know.
Ugh,
And
makes me want to cringe.
I know. Manny is like, I don't trust you. You like used to bully me for years. Like, why are you being nice to me? And
Yeah.
she's like, I know I'm a terrible person. Like, please let me make it up to you. Let me help you. And then they kind of create their own friendship kind of slowly. And she's like, you know what? You're not eating in the library today. We're going to go eat in the cafeteria because that's where they eat. And we're going to make it work. And then when they go to sit together in the cafeteria, Ten comes over and joins them. And Jared, who was Layla's ex-boyfriend that she cheated on him with, comes and joins them, and they create like a little friend group.
Aww.
And it's kind of cute. So then they kind of become friends, and they create their own group, and they're like, fuck everybody else. And
That's cute.
on prom night, because now obviously she's not going with Trey, they make a plan, which is going to be Punk's final night of graffiti.
Ooh.
I know. So the four of them all go to prom, or the five of them all go to prom together, but leave early with a ton of spray paint. And they sneak into the school and write all the horrible things Trey has ever said to girls or to them.
That's amazing.
It was amazing. And the next day, because everybody was walking in and seeing all, like they covered like all the walls, like
That
almost
kind of
like the
sucks
whole
though for
main,
the school.
especially because he's the principal's stepson.
Yeah.
And then when everybody was seeing this, a bunch of girls were stepping forward
And saying
and saying like,
He's
yeah,
bad.
he sexually assaulted me.
yeah.
You know, because he had been doing these terrible things to all these women. So Misha goes in to confront the principal because we find out that the principal is Nisha's biological mom. And that's why he wanted to break in and get information, because the principal has files from his sister.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was reading the
That is quite a plot twist.
Yes, because it was just Misha, his sister, and their dad.
Yeah.
So the mom had left when Misha was 2 and just like cut off communication. And we find out that the principal is his mom, and she left them at a young age, went and married someone 30 minutes away, and then took over his kids and like made a new life.
So Misha and Trey are stepbrothers?
Yeah, but they don't have, like, he hates his mom. His mom didn't even go to his sister's funeral.
Oh.
He was like, I'd love to learn that my mom was only 30 minutes away from me, and she never sent me a birthday card, she didn't ever check in, and she didn't even go to her own daughter's funeral that she knew about. And he said that his sister really only was taking those drugs so that she could do all the activities she was doing. She was a straight A student, she did like all these different like sports and like activities, and she felt like she had to take like
Drugs to keep
up with it.
Yeah.
And she was only doing that to try to get her mom to come back and just see that she was like the best.
Oh, that's sad.
Isn't that so sad? So he's basically like, give me everything that you have of like my sister right now. And she did. And then he was like, tell me that you like don't regret it. Like, tell me that you don't love me and that you left it. And she says it. He's like, cool. And then leaves.
Evil. Okay,
I
go be
know.
with Trey, the
I
other
know.
evil boy.
But Misha moves home and rekindles his relationship with his dad. Trey gets in trouble with the police, obviously. Good. And everybody lives happily ever after.
So did
Yeah.
Ryan and Misha date at the end?
Yeah, they get together and they're
Oh.
together for like 6 years and it's all happy.
Oh, just only 6 years?
Well, that's it. The epilogue is 6 years later.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they break up. We just know in the book. But they are together for 6 more years.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
6 is a long time. So.
Yeah. They go to college together.
Nice.
And the parents love them together.
Good.
It's great.
Amazing.
That's it. Crazy.
Yay, that was a wild ride.
That was a wild ride.
Really wild. Don't tell anyone, please, she begs, thrusting against me. The blood rushes to my cock, and I feel cum drip out of my tip. Fuck, I need to be inside of her. Just a little more, baby. I hate baby, I urge. How good are you willing to give it to me to keep me quiet, huh? She whimpers. Yeah, whatever you want.
That was in the library.
I figured it. That's too much. Not
I
baby.
know.
Not cum coming out of my tip.
No. And this one's stupid because she loves Eminem.
The rapper?
Yeah.
Okay. I waited for it to feel right. I begged back, not taking any more of her shit. I was jealous when you confided in me about your first time. That was when I realized I was possessive of you. I stared straight into her eyes, never sure about anything this much. I want everything about you, right? Oh, it's spelled like that? That's weird. For those who haven't read it, it's Ryen. Never seen that spelling before.
It's weird.
And I know you want me. Her body shakes a little and I lean in, kissing her on the cheek. But I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. Oh no! That's so cheesy.
I was like,
love the way you lie.
Punk 57. Most of the cringy stuff was just too, like the one you read was like tame.
Tame, yeah.
It was tame. Like I could not include them in the pod.
They're too.
They were so much. It was insane.
Sexual.
I've never read anything more sexual than that. Ever. I think it's like my number 1.
Okay, so you rate it and then we'll talk about what you thought.
This one's hard because it's kind of like Boys of Brescia High.
Yeah.
Where like if this is what you're looking for and like your kink is like the super dominating like kind of almost like friends like enemy like hate fucking, you know, like kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, like you'd be super into it. And I did like how complex the plot line was because a lot of the times with these books they're very tame and kind of boring and I was never bored reading the book.
Yeah.
So when we rate these books, we rate them as how drunk we need to be to actually enjoy them. So we go slightly buzzed, tipsy, drunk, stumbling, blackout. So I actually think it's slightly buzzed. No. Okay. Slightly buzzed, tipsy, right?
Yeah, slightly buzzed, tipsy.
No, tipsy.
Tipsy.
4.
Okay.
Yes. It's been a while.
The rating is tipsy.
The rating is tipsy. Yes, because there are some parts where I was like, okay, this is so interesting. It's like a book where you know that it's bad and you know that it's crazy, but it's so crazy you cannot put it down.
It's like Vampire Diaries or Real Life. Like it's the drama. You're there for the drama.
It's like
it's not good.
High, another book I couldn't put down, even though it was like not good. I was like, I can't put this down.
It's still fun,
but it's not as like for example, One Indecent Night. That wasn't fun to read because it was just like, what's happening? Like, but it was actually developed things, even though there's a lot going on. Yeah. It was just, you know, you have to get past the point of, and this is why it's not a tipsy, is this would never happen. Yeah. Like they're in high school.
What high schoolers do this?
I know. So that's why I couldn't give it all the way because it's just not believable. They're acting like I wouldn't even act like that at this age, you know?
No.
And I'm far out of high school.
Yeah.
So, you know, it seems like they're 35.
Yeah, they're a lot.
They're a lot.
Like, where are their parents? Where are the teachers?
How do they know how to have sex like that anyway?
Yeah. And where are they learning this?
And she says that he's only the same guy she's been with.
What?
Yes.
Trey? What about Trey?
No, she never had sex with Trey. He wanted to have sex with her.
Oh my gosh.
So.
And she's willing to let him touch her in the library?
I know. Or like make out with him in a like classroom. Yeah. And like grind on him.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Anyway,
how were the sex scenes though? Did you like them?
Well, okay, here's the thing. They were good, but they were so intense.
Oh, so it was like...
So it was like, yeah, Yeah, it was like half the time I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like what's going on? Like, woo!
Too
Like,
shocking.
especially like the anal part, I was like, whoa,
You're like, I can't.
I can't.
I'm laughing.
But some of them are really good. There's also, it's like, I feel like with the book, after the first and the second time, like there's usually like a foreplay section, right, where they just go that far, and then like they actually have sex, and then like one more time. Any more times after the third, I'm kind of like done with it.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
I'm like,
they're just throwing
okay.
sex in here for the reader to enjoy.
And they never
porn.
get better.
Yeah,
They always get worse.
I agree. They're
So-
usually like
Then they're
It's
like,
like
okay, we're just gonna stick it
the
in.
foreplay, and then the first time having sex is always the best, and then it just kind of gets
It's
like
worse
eh,
in there.
okay.
And there was
after
like
that.
6, like 5 or 6, and I was just like, I'm over it. I'm over it.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
interesting.
it was interesting.
That's a crazy book.
That is Punk 57.
Amazing. Thanks, Kate, for sharing.
You're welcome.
If you guys have read this book, tell us your thoughts down below. And if you want to rate it on your Goodreads scale, like 5-star or like a from 5-star rating, or if you want to rate it on our scale, that would be really fun too.
Yes.
You know, the usual, like, subscribe, comment, star it,
Like it.
everything.
All the things. And we'll see you next week on Drink